This modern home brings a unique flair to Truesdale Estates in Beverly Hills. It's a modern residence designed to maximize the lot with a full subterranean level, yet it carries an organic Mediterranean flair that I really like. Limestone floors, plaster walls, and extensive use of split-face stone and travertine throughout. And you pair that with all curated furnishings, you end up with a warm, distinct property like this. And with all of its elements, a mix of styles between modern and Mediterranean, I think this home is very underrated. So let's go check it out. All right, everyone, once again, welcome to Truesdale Estates. What a stunning property. First off, home is elevated from the street level and they landscape the hillside very nicely. You can see the Mediterranean / organic tone here with the boulders, olive trees, all the greenery, and there's certainly an emphasis when it comes to outdoor landscaping, especially with all these outdoor lights. So I'm sure at night the property is going to look great. Now on the exterior they mostly use stucco, but they also use Portuguese limestone. This is a split face stone, so you can see the textures, the organic feel of the stone. It just gives additional warmth to the clean modern aesthetic of this home. Now given that this side is facing the street, they didn't want to place a ton of windows, but I like those 3 vertical windows that are linear, that benefits from the natural light coming from this side, and it's also nicely recessed into the plaster. Now you can see the front door here, and the wall on this side does a pretty good job hiding the entry of the home a little bit and providing additional privacy. Now over here you can see the driveway going down to your 4-car garage, and I love the cobblestone approach here. They're calling it European cobblestone, and I think what they mean by that is the fact that all these pieces are irregular, but also there's a nice color variation here. And I'm sure when you drive your car on this driveway into your garage, you're going to feel the texture of this stone, which then again plays into the organic and Mediterranean aspect of this property. They also used oak on the exterior, so the material selection on the outside and the color balance is really well done. You get the warmth from the oak and the split face, and the stucco gives that clean aesthetic to this home. This driveway goes down to your 4-car garage that we'll cover in a second. And lastly, to our right, we have the entry. One thing about this home that I really like is the extensive use of olive trees. They place them throughout the property, and I think olive trees do a really good job complementing and giving warmth to modern homes, especially when you have clean lines like this property. And off of the entry here, we have another olive tree right in the center of this water feature. And again, we see water features a lot in these modern homes to set this warm, tranquil tone before you enter the home. And over here, we have the glass pivot door. Let's go inside. The foyer features the same finishes that we saw in the exterior, whether it's the plaster walls, the split face stone. I love the skylight here. And facing the garage side, we have additional linear windows here. And I love these thick columns. They just give depth to these windows and provide natural light to the foyer. Now, right off the entry, you can see the attention to detail when it comes to furnishings and curation, or these custom wall sconces right off the entry. It's going to be a good tour. Now, to my left, you can see the oak cabinetry, additional storage. Here, we have a very chic powder room, silver travertine for the entire vanity. Fabrication looks great, very minimalist, whether it's the countertop, the recessed in section for the sink, and even the fact that they went with a wall fixture so that they can push the sink all the way to the very edge of the wall and create this oversized design. Oak paneling, another skylight above. Now, going back, on the other side, we have the family room and the kitchen. This is the heart of this property, and it is a phenomenal space. The warmth, the extensive use of natural materials, whether it's the oak paneling, oak cabinetry, Taj Mahal countertop, or the split face stone on this side. And I just love how curated this home is. The accessories, your furnishings, throw blankets, pillows. It is a very tasteful property. And before we get into details, I want to quickly get the specs out of the way. It's approximately 10,000 square feet. We have 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms on the market for $31,980,000. And I want to give big thanks to the listing agents, Rayni Williams and Branden Williams, for making this tour possible. More information about this stunning home will be in the description of this video. Now, coming back to the living room, I want to quickly draw everybody back to this side so we can talk about this linear ethanol fireplace and the fabrication here. Down below you can see the stone, and they left the surface rough to again emphasize this organic tone that they're going for. Then you have the steel fabrication around the fireplace. Even though it's decorative, I love the stacks of wood on each side. Again, gives more warmth to the property. And then the Portuguese split face limestone. Look at all the color variation, the organic surface. TV is nicely recessed in and framed with oak paneling. And you even have mood lighting down below. What an amazing space, and I just love the fact that we have the kitchen on the other side with skylights bringing natural light. Now let me come over to this side. This room is centrally located and it's pushed into the property. So this room is extremely private, and that wasn't enough. They have custom motorized sliding glass doors pocketing into the walls with no header, meaning glass runs all the way to the ceiling and seamlessly opening up this room to the outdoors. And I just love how this room makes such a good use of the entire main floor and all these rooms and this intimate backyard. And I mean, look at the view. This is amazing, and more olive trees. Now coming to this side, we have the staircase going down to the lower level, and to create some separation between the staircase and this room, and also to make this level open, they came up with this screen design, but the entire frame is actually made out of metal, and you can see how the metal goes down on the lower section as well as vertically inside of these beams. And then you can see the light fixture, the skylight by the staircase, and how the cabinetry here plays into the feel of this room. I also love that they went with this floating design with LED lighting. There's also recessed in lighting within the cabinetry here. Such an elegant design. Now going this way, we have a hallway that leads you to the guest bedrooms, but I want to quickly come over here to talk about this kitchen. The kitchen is stunning. It's warm, it's elegant, and it's nicely blended to the family room design. Same white oak ceiling continues to the kitchen. 4 massive skylights here bringing natural light. These oversized pendant lights. Your gorgeous island right in the center. Again, all white oak cabinetry. And they featured this pickle finish, so you can see the grain and the texture of the cabinetry a little bit more. Taj Mahal countertop, this is quartzite, and they also have a rougher finish here just to play into the organic aspect of this property. How you have the portal in the center, the amount of natural light that comes in, and beyond that, it's a very functional kitchen. I mean, given the square footage of this home, it covers a lot of utility. Now, over here, we have this really nice breakfast nook. Marble table, this gorgeous dark olive green couch, massive picture window assembly here facing the front of the property, so it benefits from all this natural light that comes in. Really cozy space, and I love the light fixture above. That's brass and suede wrapped. Now behind me we have a door that opens up to the chef's kitchen. There are 2 entry points, so this is the first one, and the oak cabinetry continues on this side. Here they have this reeded finish, and when you open, this is actually your paneled freezer and fridge, all Gaga now. And let's get a close up. Look at all these drawers with custom inserts, spice holders, canisters. I mean, it's part of the kitchen design, and I believe they have more over here. This is very nice. Now, can we get a close up on this sink? I love the fabrication here, how you have a rack for your dishes. That way you can dry it out very easily. They use brass fixtures, but Emma, can we get a close-up? In order to make this sink drain properly, they cut these pieces and lowered it at an angle towards the drain so it drains properly. Now, normally when they make these fabricated sinks, they use machines to polish the surface and give a gentle slope towards the drain. But here, they made a more practical decision, and I feel like this would be more effective when it comes to drying out your sink. But it's a nice touch. Another rack over here, and then on this side we have the microwave, dishwasher that's nicely paneled in, and over on the other side we have our gas cooktop. Now this is a system from Pitt, and we've seen these gas cooktops before where the burners and the knobs are placed straight onto the countertop. It looks very modern, sleek. Now, in case you wonder what this pipe is, this is actually for a pot filler. They haven't placed a pot filler yet. That's why they have this connection point here. Above you can see the vent. They also brought these floating shelves with integrated LED lighting, again using the same oak cabinetry. And it's a nice touch because the portal design here has this minimalist aesthetic, and this brings additional warmth and gives you a place to put these organic textured accessories. So it's a nice touch. I mean, overall, I'm very impressed with the kitchen. I feel like they kept utility, aesthetics, really everything in mind. And look at all these drawers with the inserts and additions. Look at all these accessories. And also down below, they have this feature that I don't think I've ever seen before. This is so that you can lock in your pots and pans and make sure when they're sitting in the drawer, they're not moving around. I mean, how nice is that, everyone?
I love it. It's a nice touch.
It's a nice touch, definitely. All right, your second, I think these are both actually fridges, again, all Gaga now. And then over here, we have this service area. Additional cabinetry, your paneled wine fridge, espresso maker, and there's also another sink here, nicely fabricated with a stone front, floating shelves, and easy access to the outside. That way your staff can come through here and use this as an additional supporting section for the main kitchen. But also, behind this panel door, we have a chef's kitchen. This is a proper chef's kitchen. I have to commend the development team here when it comes to maximizing the square footage and making the best of this space while blending the design with the main kitchen. 60-inch Wolf gas range. Now over here, we have another sink here with a fabricated front. So in total, you have 3 sinks and 4 dishwashers. 2 here, 1 by the service area and 1 by the island. They also placed a picture window here for natural light. Now, additionally, given that it's a chef's kitchen, they have 2 oversized Sub-Zero fridges here. I love these fridges with glass fronts and additional built-in appliances, speed oven, convection oven, and look at all these warming drawers. This is such a nice touch. Again, they truly maximize the space. And here is your dry pantry, and the door to my left opens up back to your breakfast nook. Very nice space. All right, quick break from the tour to thank Odoo for sponsoring today's video. If you're running a business, you already know how much there is to juggle. Day-to-day operations, sales, accounting, website, it adds up and it can get overwhelming. That's where Odoo comes in. Odoo is an all-in-one platform with a range of applications that help you manage every part of your business in one place. From CRM to accounting to sales to planning and so much more. For example, let's say you want to build a website. With Odoo's website builder, you can create a professional site in just a few clicks. You answer a few simple prompts about your business, pick a color palette, and that's pretty much it. I actually used it to build an event website for the movie premieres we've been hosting for our documentary style episodes, and it only took a few minutes. And here's the best part. Your first Odoo app is completely free for life. That includes unlimited hosting, support, and even custom domain name for 1 year. So whether you're launching a new brand or upgrading an existing brand, Odoo makes the process a lot simpler. Check out the link in the description to learn more. Big thanks to Odoo for sponsoring this episode. And now back to the tour. Now welcome to the formal wing. This is where we have the dining area and the living room. Again, same limestone floors, 2 sections seamlessly open up to the outdoors. You can enjoy your backyard from these spaces. And over on this side, your gorgeous dining area. Love the table with this live edge, the emphasis on wood and natural materials. And whether it's the carpets, the accessories, this gorgeous light fixture, it's a really warm space. Now you can see how they used oak paneling with reeded details to bring additional depth to this room, warmth, and the 3 linear windows that I talked on the exterior. Well, they're placed here to bring natural light, but also they're linear so they maintain the privacy of this room. Custom light fixtures, built-in cabinetry on the back with this leather top and bronze tinted mirror here, so you can actually enjoy the views straight from your dining room. And also, while you're sitting here, city is right in front of you, all the way to the Pacific Ocean. This is pretty awesome. Now I'm gonna pull you all the way to this section one more time because there's also a really nice wet bar here where they use travertine countertop, fabricated sink, same mirror backsplash with floating shelves. And if you want to close off this section, you can certainly do that. Now there's actually one more detail that I want to talk about. Can you go all the way here? You see how they use wood paneling on the ceiling to define this space? It's another feature that they repeat throughout the property when they wanted to define spaces. Now next up, welcome to the formal living room. The couch here is positioned to take advantage of these breathtaking views. The greenery, the city opens up to the backyard. Plaster ceiling with recessed lights that are also blended into the plaster. Your corner fireplace, but Armand, can we get a close-up? I want to talk about the limestone here. First off, there's a serious emphasis in this home when it comes to natural light. They have so many different skylights throughout to highlight the texture of the materials and the finishes. Now, the split face Portuguese limestone is actually commonly used in masonry work or when it comes to structural elements of homes. You can create load-bearing walls, columns using this stone because it has a lot of structural integrity. When it comes to installing this material, a lot of times they install these square or rectangular pieces and they tend to stagger them so that each piece supports the piece above. But here you can also see that grout lines are all empty, meaning they didn't use any grout for this stone, both on the outside and on the inside. Now, California has a relatively easy dry climate, meaning when it rains, water dries pretty quickly. But in places like Texas or in hot climates where water can retain a little bit longer, you actually want to close these grout lines and make sure you have perfect waterproofing. But again, given that we live in California, you can have this more open and freer aesthetic because the moment you put grout in between these joints, you're going to totally change the feel. This looks a little bit more organic, and over time, this stone ages really well. It oxidizes, it changes its color, but it almost in a way gets more cozier and more organic the more it sits on walls. And I love that they brought to the interior of this property. Now over here, you can see additional old cabinetry, your corner fireplace. I also appreciate the fact that they didn't place the fireplace right on the other side because they would have blocked this view. And the view is so nice, whether it's the Green Hill here, Century City, Wilshire Corridor right in front of you, again, all the way to the Pacific Ocean, and the seamless transition to the outside. This backyard is to the point. And given the square footage of the lot and the floor plan of the main level, I feel like they maximize this backyard pretty well. On the floor, they use the same limestone, but it's on a pedestal system, meaning the entire deck is perfectly level, which also helps with the continuity from the outside to the inside, and it makes the transitions a little bit more seamless. Now, around the corner, they have a really nice outdoor bar, cased out of travertine. Now, right in the center, we have our pool. Hot tub is nicely raised, again, all clad with the same limestone. And the aspect here that I really like is the fact that they continue the same limestone into the pool. And that integration makes the pool a lot more effortless, seamless. Then they also went with simple plaster, Baja shelf, corner steps, lounging beds. This pool is definitely good size and well proportioned for this backyard. Now on the other side, you can see the primary bedroom, how it opens up to the outdoors. Again, custom glass doors, all motorized pocketing into the wall. And over here, you can see the split face stone, stucco, wood beams, palm trees. And this is a great frame where you can really appreciate the architecture of this home. I love the warm tones. I love the clean lines. It's a great balance of modern design with some Mediterranean organic elements. And that's one of the reasons why we picked this home to showcase. And I just feel like they've done such a tasteful job bringing these natural elements and also complementing with landscaping. Look at all these planters, olive trees. Even though these planters look like they're additional add-ons, they even incorporated outdoor lighting to these planters so that at night they can become a little bit more integrated and really valuable part of the experience here. And above, you can see these massive beams helping with the transition from the interior ceiling. When you step outside, it's not just open. You have this transition period before you step into the backyard. And if you look above, you can see the metal flashing that they use above these beams and also around the perimeter of the home. That way, the top section of these materials are not exposed to sun and rain. They're a little bit more protected because of the aluminum flashing. Now, the other aspect that I really like that I keep talking about throughout the tour, how all these spaces are opening up to the outdoors. Your dining area, formal living room. It's important to capitalize your backyard, especially when you're situated on a plot like this. You have great elevation, the view is wide open, you're getting great airflow. So it's nice that all these spaces can benefit from this amazing outdoor space. And given our elevation and where we are in Truesdale, meaning most of the homes here are single-story homes, your view is unobstructed. And let me tell you, if I lived here, I would enjoy this space all the time. I would start my day, open up my motorized sliding glass doors, and walk from my bedroom to this backyard, enjoy the setting here, And I mean, what a tasteful home. The lower level of this property is really cool. This is a subterranean level, and we only have few windows and exterior access here, meaning this space is extremely private, cozy, and they went all out. Oak hardwood floors, oak paneling throughout, the built-ins, mood lighting, and this custom sunken seating area. What a cool way to interact with your friends and family, with your guests. It's an intimate space. You sit down, relax here, and the fact that they've dropped this section, I want to say by 2 foot, makes this space feel so much bigger and open. And look at the light fixture above with these chains, alabaster bulbs. It almost gives a little bit more of a Gothic feel. Now, I want to quickly go to the other side and showcase this ethanol fireplace. Again, the same design that we saw in the family room. Oak paneling with a massive TV, custom light fixtures, and these built-ins. If you look closely, Armand, let's get a close-up. You can see the reeded finish on the back, and they set the built-in shelving forward with mood lighting, so there's depth, there's texture, and you still have a lot of space for you to put some books, accessories, all these details. Now next, over here, we have the pocket doors opening up to your 4-car garage. If you have really nice cars, it would be an amazing backdrop. In fact, in the listing video of this property, they had really cool cars here, but I just love how they integrated and made the garage part of the experience here. Very nice touch. Now going back, additional built-ins, again with the reeded back wall. Hallway goes to the remaining rooms on this level, but first I want to quickly take you this way. Beyond the finishes, the furnishings, and the design, I just appreciate the extra care when it comes to adding the right accessories, bringing in the right texture, and paying attention to the color palette to make sure to maximize the potential of this home. Whether it's all the built-ins, the accessories, or this wine wall, how it's all staged. And if you look closely, you can see this stone finish on the back, and they left this rough texture to make it feel like this was carved into the hillside. And with all the mood lighting, you can see the texture of the stone. And this is also a temperature controlled wine cellar. It's a very nice touch. On the other side, you have this awesome bar, waterfall edge. I love these pendant lights, how they're suede wrapped with this brass section on the bottom. Same Taj Mahal countertop. You have your ice maker, dishwasher, all the way to your open shelving here. That's fabricated out of same Taj Mahal. It's a really nice bar. Now, on the other side, we have the screening room. But before we go in there, I want to talk about this detail. On the pocket doors and also on the wall, they have the same bronze mirror, so it reflects the light and gives a little bit more energy, makes this pocket door more of the design here. So I appreciate that touch. And this is a very cozy space, where there's the plush carpet, 3-tier seating, all this oak paneling, fabric walls, the integrated mood lighting, bringing in the wood panel ceiling just warms up the space, your screen, and these couches look very comfortable. In fact, let me actually try it out real quick. Yep, definitely comfortable. And I feel like this is a great balance between a movie theater and a screening room, meaning you don't have those custom built-in integrated movie theater seats, but at the same time, you don't have small couches. These are very plush, comfortable. There's enough elevation difference between these levels to make it feel like a movie theater or a screening room than your everyday living room or just an enclosed space. Now, leaving here, on the other side, you can see the main hallway. Again, to our left, we have the 4-car garage. There's a really nice powder room here. And I forgot to mention, we have the elevator landing. So this home does come with an elevator. Now, let's quickly look at the staircase. You can see the hand plaster walls. And I love how the built-in cabinetry in the family room is actually floating above the floor. That way, they're even bringing natural light from that section to the lower level. That's a nice touch. Now, next up, we have the spa. Pilates reformer, enclosed sauna, but even here, they're bringing in some art, some accessories to make the space feel warm. I also like that it's glass enclosed, so it benefits from the natural light. And here we have a guest suite. This is the 5th guest suite, and this is a really nice space because it's good size. You have the same finishes, walk-in shower, walk-in closet, and it also has an exterior access. So this can be a separate guest quarters, staff quarters. It's a cozy bedroom. Now the car gallery. The first thing I want to mention is how they use glass walls and glass doors to make this space part of the lower level. A lot of times in these homes that we tour, garages are enclosed and you don't really see them. So it's nice that it's an intuitive part of the lower level. Above, you can see this mirror ceiling design with mood lighting and wood paneling. It makes the space a little bit more spacious and more like a car gallery than a garage. You can easily park 4 cars here, and there's also a turntable. That way getting in and out is relatively easy. Now when I say you can store 4 cars here, you can definitely park 4 cars, but ideally you should have 2 to 3 cars here. That way 2 cars can sit on the back, 1 car can be here, and you can turn the car around to make going in and out very easily. Now you can also see how they extended the oak paneling to this side, your utility access, Tesla panels, Tesla charger. Now the other aspect I want to talk about, given that we're on the subterranean level, and I'm assuming that they wanted to maximize the ceiling height here, they pocketed the door to the sides rather than on the ceiling. They also use the same oak paneling on the outside. And then you can see the European cobblestone here with the driveway. Now there's an important detail that I want to point out. They have the first drain here and the second drain all the way up here. Now I really like this detail because a lot of times in Los Angeles they will end up putting just 1 drain because it doesn't rain here that often. And when it rains, it doesn't rain that heavily. So it's nice that most of the rainwater gets caught with this first drain, but just in case, you have another one as a security measure. This is a very nice touch, and this is how your garage looks from the entry. And I appreciate how they went a little bit out of their way to make this space really count. So far, we've toured all the common spaces. In addition to that, the home offers 5 bedrooms, with 4 of them located on the main level. Each one is distinctly curated and thoughtfully designed. There's a strong emphasis on connecting these rooms to the outdoors. And that's really an ongoing theme of the house. Instead of your standard drywall, the walls are finished in plaster. Textures and fabrics are intentionally chosen, and all of the ensuite bathrooms feature skylights, bringing in soft and natural light. My favorite guest bedroom faces the side of the property, opening up to canyon views. You can already imagine how peaceful it would be to spend time here. But the best bedroom, we saved it for last. Now the primary bedroom suite. It's located on the main level, right next to the family room, and off of the entry we have a massive pivot door opening up to this hallway, and there's a glass enclosure here facing the backyard. They use the same wood screen detail to provide a little bit of privacy to the entry while still allowing a ton of natural light to come in. Same hand plaster walls, rustic rug, and over here we have some built-in cabinetry with floating shelves, small fridge down below, and the hallway leads us to the bedroom. This is a phenomenal space. Up front we have the city all the way to the Pacific Ocean, and on the side you can capture the hillside here and all this greenery, motorized sliding doors, truly open up the room. King size bed, your corner fireplace, built-in cabinetry, and I love the ceiling design here, how they brought the oak paneling all the way up there with mood lighting, and this design feature was also showcased in the dining area, lower level bar, so I like that they're bringing architectural continuity with these details. I also love how they use so many different colors in this home to warm up the space, whether it's the rust pillow here, throw blanket, green tones, gray tones, and how they're repeated throughout the home. And the bed itself is very cozy. You have a built-in headboard design with this fabric finish and the bronze mirror here. That way, even when you're facing this side, you can still enjoy the view. It looks very cozy and the view is phenomenal. Now, throughout the tour, I talked about how these spaces transition to the outdoors very seamlessly. And they accomplish this feeling by installing the same stone on the outside to the inside, but beyond that, because the exterior patio is on a pedestal system, that way they can also install the tracks of these sliding glass doors to the surface and keep everything level. Because when it rains, you want to make sure that water goes into the drains. But because all these drains are tucked underneath the pedestal system, you can have this flush look and you won't have any rainwater coming into the interior. This is a nice detail. Beautiful bedroom, but let's go see the bathroom. This space is well designed. You have so many different zones, areas, but beyond that it's also very spacious. Gets great light thanks to the fact that sliding glass doors here fully open up, and I just love how they made the outdoor space part of the experience with this bathroom. Here you can see the stone freestanding tub, standalone tub filler, and the sliding glass doors here actually fully pocket into the wall if you want and open up to this side yard area. I love the grass here, small seating area, the tree, and all these little plants. This section has a very cozy feel. Imagine starting your morning in that bedroom, then coming to your bathroom, opening up these sliding glass doors, walking here barefoot, getting some fresh air, natural light, grounding yourself, appreciating the greenery here, and then walking back in to start your day. I mean, that sounds amazing. Now over here, you can see how they use travertine for the back wall design. It's actually unfilled travertine that's vein cut. And there's also a skylight here to bring additional natural light. And I have to point this out, the amount of skylights they have in this home. If you look at the roof from a bird's eye view, you will see all these small skylights. In fact, even the 2 water closets that we have in this bathroom have skylights. They've designed a modern home, but they really brought this organic Mediterranean aspect and they committed to it. It's not just the finishes, the accessories, and how they curated the space. It's also how they brought these different utilities like the skylights, sliding glass doors, and how they properly pocket into the walls to bring that natural element into this home. I really appreciate that. Now they also used travertine for the countertop here, fabricated the sink, floating cabinetry with LED lighting underneath. I love these brass alabaster wall sconces, very chic. And the same oak paneling is used here with the reeded detail and mirrors nicely recessed in. So a really nice vanity. And we have another one on the other side. Now, let's quickly talk about the walk-in shower here. I like that the corner is all glass, so you can enjoy your bathroom even when you're in your shower. All travertine throughout, and they use more of this polished but unfilled finish on the floor, but on the walls you have this textured finish. Look how many bodice sprays they have here. Fixtures are gorgeous. You have your rain heads above. There's also a steam feature here with a screen on this side. Now next up, let's quickly talk about the walk-in closets. We have 2 of them. This is the first one. I feel like they've done a pretty good job maximizing the space, getting the best out of it with a skylight above. And this is the second, or the bigger closet. Island in the center with 4 glass inserts. That way you can see what's inside your drawer, all the way to the ceiling, shoe racks, hangers, built-in LED lighting. And I like that it comes with many sections, meaning I like to have my clothes extremely organized. I like to have my pants in one place, my button shirt, my t-shirts, sweatshirts. So you can have all these dedicated sections, and given the square footage of this home, I feel like this is a pretty good walk-in closet. I think I'm just impressed with the design, the execution, the efficiency of the floor plan here. Now, prior to shooting this episode, I asked our YouTube members and our Patreon members if they wanted me to cover a specific detail or feature in this home. And out of all the questions they asked, I picked 2 questions. And honestly, these are things that I didn't even think about talking or mentioning in our videos. The first question was, what happens to the staff and the vendors that work on the property when a new buyer acquires the home? Now, a lot of times when people purchase these homes, they ask for the vendor list, meaning all the companies and people that work on these homes, because they're really familiar with the home. They already know all the issues, problems, or even things to be aware of when it comes to maintaining a property like this. And it's really important to talk to these individuals even prior to acquiring the home to make sure you're really aware of what you're getting into. So number 1, yes, most of the staff ends up working for the next buyer or the next homeowner. The second question was how a property retains its value, or what are some of the things that people should look out for when it comes to buying something and knowing that the value is there and it's there for the years to come. I think the first thing to pay attention to is the location. That's something you cannot change or improve. And in this case, you're in Truesdale. I would argue one of the most sought after locations in Beverly Hills. And I think the second thing that you want to pay attention to is your plot and how it's situated. Meaning the architecture and the design of the home should really capitalize on the location and make the best of it, which in this case, I think it does a pretty good job. You have your main level, all open, connected, takes advantage of the views, and you still get a basement level, subterranean level to maximize your square footage, given that you're in a really valuable location. And the other aspect that I think is really important is how the home speaks to you, if you like the architecture, and if the home is built well. Over time, these kind of massive homes can be very problematic. Your roof might leak, the sliding glass doors might have issues. So you want to make sure that you go through a very diligent inspection period and make sure that the home is built really well. After that, it's really up to your taste, whether you enjoy the property or you may even do little updates to make it suit your life a little bit more. But I think the location, the architecture, and how the home is situated on the plot is extremely important, whether it's going to retain its value or not. But with that, we're done with this tour. But of course, we got to see this place at dusk. Alright everyone, that's it for the tour. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this property? I personally really like this home. Spaces are well defined, the layout works, each room has its own identity and feel, and beyond that, I also really appreciate the natural material selection and how nothing in this home feels forced or gimmicky. At night, city is glowing, the view is fantastic with all the soft mood lighting and intentional lighting throughout. The property really comes to life. Now with that, I want to congratulate the design and development team for doing a phenomenal job with this home. And of course, big thanks to the listing agents, Rayni Williams and Branden Williams, for making this tour possible. More information about the property will be in the description of this video. Make sure to check it out. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.